Hey guys, welcome back. Today, we're tackling a problem that can turn a straightforward repair into a complete nightmare. Have you ever replaced a steering rack on a modern Jeep or Chrysler, buttoned everything up perfectly, only to be met with a stubborn, absolute refusal to calibrate? The power steering is dead, the dash is lit up with warnings, and your expensive scan tool is giving you nothing but grief. The clock is ticking, the customer is waiting, and a profitable job is quickly going into the red. You start to doubt the new part, even your own sanity. But I'm here to tell you, it's likely not the part, and it's not you. This is a known but poorly documented issue within the Stellantis family. I'm going to walk you through a specific manufacturer advisory that holds the key to solving this headache, and you'll want to stick around because later I'll break down exactly what this fix can cost, so you can quote these jobs accurately. Let's jump in, so let's set the scene. A Jeep Cherokee comes into the shop, maybe after a minor front-end collision or hitting a nasty pothole. The shop does the right thing. They install a brand new Mopar steering gear, and the mechanical work is perfect. But then comes the final, crucial step: calibrating the electric power steering, or EPS module. This learn procedure is essential. It tells the computer the exact center position of the new steering rack. But this isn't just about making the steering wheel feel nice. The steering angle sensor is a primary input for electronic stability control. If the car doesn't know where straight ahead is, the ESC could break the wrong wheel in a skid. The system is designed to protect the driver by shutting down completely rather than operating on bad data. So when the tech tries to run the EPS learn routine, it fails instantly. The scan tool spits out a cryptic message: negative response code, 0x10, general reject. The general reject code is a safety lockout, the computer's way of saying, nope, a prerequisite condition has not been met, and I'm not proceeding. It's a frustrating dead end without more information. Now, your first instinct might be to search for a recall or a technical service bulletin, a TSB, but you won't find one for this specific issue. The information is buried in a different type of document, an internal manufacturer advisory known as a STAR case. STAR stands for Service Technical Assistance Resource, and these are essentially notes from the engineering support hotline for dealership technicians. These STAR cases are born from real-world problems, logged by dealer techs calling the engineering hotline. They represent emerging issues that haven't yet been formalized into a TSB. The case file we're interested in is S230800009, and here's the golden nugget of information it contains. It gives a heads up to technicians that the EPS learn procedure will automatically fail if the vehicle's steering angle sensor detects that the steering wheel is off-center by more than approximately 7.5 degrees relative to the vehicle's actual direction of travel. To put 7.5 degrees in perspective, it's an angle so small you'd never notice it just by looking, but the car's sensors see it clear as day. To the sensitive electronics that manage your stability control, it's a massive red flag. The system is designed to fail safely, rather than operate with incorrect data, which could lead to dangerous handling characteristics. So, how do you fix it? The STAR case provides a clear diagnostic checklist for dealers, and we can use it too. First, and this is the most overlooked step, perform a full four-wheel alignment you even think about plugging in the scan tool. The EPS module needs to see that the vehicle's thrust angle, the direction the rear wheels are pointing, is near zero. The steering wheel must be perfectly centered while the front wheels are pointing dead ahead. Second, verify the mechanical installation. Check the connection between the intermediate steering shaft and the input shaft on the steering gear. Are the splines lined up? Was the steering gear perfectly centered? It was connected to the tie rods? Many replacement racks come with a locking pin. Make sure that was handled correctly. And a word of warning: never try to center the steering wheel by removing it and reinstalling it on the column. That only misaligns the clock spring and sensor. Third, and this is crucial after any impact, meticulously inspect for other bent components. We're not just talking about the tie rods. Look closely at the steering knuckles, lower control arms, and even the subframe. Any one of these being slightly bent can throw off the geometry enough to exceed that 7.5 degree tolerance. Fourth, perform a simple lock-to-lock test. The number of steering wheel rotations from center to full left and right should be identical. If not, the rack wasn't centered. Only after confirming all these mechanical points should you retry the learn procedure. It's important to understand that this STAR case simply documents dealer experience. It doesn't automatically authorize any warranty repairs. That's determined on a case-by-case basis. Now for the big catch, and this is a major hurdle for independent shops and DIYers, your scan tool matters. A lot. A big reason for this is the Security Gateway Module, or SGW, that Stellantis has implemented. It acts as a firewall, rejecting commands from tools that aren't properly authenticated. Most generic or budget-friendly scan tools, even some semi-pro ones, simply cannot perform this procedure reliably. They might have the menu option for EPS Learn, but when they send the command, the module rejects it. You'll see it all over the forums, text saying, "My expensive scanner failed 20 times, towed it to the dealer and they were done in 15 minutes. It's a frustrating reality that access to OEM software is becoming a necessity. To do this right, you almost always need dealer-level software, which is YTech 2.0, or a very high-end aftermarket tool that has licensed OEM-level capabilities. And to be clear, this isn't the same as a software reflash. A reflash updates the core programming of the module, which is sometimes necessary after a crash. Our issue is different. It's about writing new calibration data, not new operating software. So what's the damage to the wallet? If the only issue is the alignment and calibration, you can expect a dealership to charge between $120 and $300 for the labor. That covers the alignment check, the diagnostic time, and running the EPS Learn procedure with their YTech tool. However, if that inspection reveals bent parts, the cost can escalate quickly. A new steering knuckle could be $150, a lower control arm might be $200, and that's before adding the labor to install them. This is why it's so important to manage expectations. When you quote a steering rack job, especially after an accident, build in the cost of a four-wheel alignment and explain to the customer that a final calibration with a dealer-level tool may be required. It's better to be transparent upfront than to have an awkward conversation about surprise costs later. The bottom line is this: before you ever attempt an EPS Learn on a Jeep or Chrysler product after a steering gear replacement, you must guarantee the mechanicals are perfect. That means a proper four-wheel alignment, a centered steering wheel, a correctly installed rack, and a thorough inspection for any collateral damage. If the Learn procedure still fails after all that, your next step is to use a dealer-level tool or find a shop that has one. Don't waste hours, or worse, start replacing good parts because you're chasing a ghost with an inadequate scanner. Following this process saves you from costly rework, unnecessary parts expenses, and a ton of frustration. So let's quickly recap the critical path to success. First, don't touch the scan tool until you've done a full four-wheel alignment. Second, meticulously verify your mechanical installation rack centered, splines aligned. Third, inspect for any hidden collision damage. And fourth, you must use the right tool. An authenticated dealer-level scanner isn't a luxury for this job, it's a necessity. And here's a final pro tip. Document your process. Take a picture of the alignment screen before and after. This documentation is your best friend if you need to explain additional charges to a customer. It's about being a professional and protecting your work. This whole situation is a perfect example of where the industry is heading, where the wrench and the laptop are now equal partners in the service bay. Found this deep dive useful? If it was, do me a favor and smash that like button. And I really want to hear from you. Have you run into this 0x10 error before? Drop your stories and questions in the comments below. And of course, if you want more real-world diagnostic tips, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.